Hi friends, it's Deanna Williston from our Blooming Catholic Life, and we're here today practically live with this Lectio Divina. We're looking at Psalm 101, Domine Exaudi, and we're here verses 9 through 13. Big section for us, quite a long one. So let's just jump in with St. Francis's prayer before the crucifix. Sorry. Nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Summe glorioso Deus, illumina tenebras cordis mehi, et da mihi fidem rectum, spem certum et caritatem perfectum. Domini et facium tuum sanctum et verax mandatum. Amen. All the day long my enemies reproached me, and they that praised me did swear against me. For I did eat ashes like bread, and mingled my drink with weeping. Because of thy anger and indignation, for having lifted me up, thou hast thrown me down. My days have declined like a shadow, and I am withered like grass. But thou, O Lord, endurest forever, and thy memorial to all generations. Remember, friends, here you can pause as long as you need to for your Lectio Divina. Read it 3 times through. This time we're going to read from the beginning of the psalm to the end, and then one more time, just the last bit. Psalm 101, Domine Exaudi, a prayer for one in affliction, the 5th penitential psalm. The prayer of the poor man when he was anxious and poured out his supplication before the Lord. Hear, O Lord, my prayer, and let my cry come unto thee. Turn not away thy face from me. In the day when I am in trouble, incline thy ear to me. In that day whatsoever I shall call upon thee, hear me speedily. For my days are vanished like smoke, and my bones are grown dry like fuel for the fire. I am smitten as grass, and my heart is withered, because I forgot to eat my bread. Through the voice of my groaning my bone hath cleaved to my flesh. I am become like a pelican of the wilderness. I am like a night raven in the house. I have watched and become as a sparrow, all alone on the housetop. All the day long my enemies reproached me, and they that praised me did swear against me. For I did eat ashes like bread, and mingled my drink with weeping. Because of thy anger and indignation, for having lifted me up, thou hast thrown me down. My days have declined like shadow, and I am withered like grass. But thou, O Lord, endurest forever, and thy memorial to all generations. All the day long my enemies reproached me, and they that praised me did swear against me. For I did eat ashes like bread, and mingled my drink with weeping. Because of thy anger and indignation, for having lifted me up, thou hast thrown me down. My days have declined like shadow, and I am withered like grass. But thou, O Lord, endurest forever, and thy memorial is to all generations. And friends, here I'll start. Just to note, there's no notes for this section. There's no notes at all in our Benedictine Press Tan Books edition of the Douay Rheims Bible. No notes here. What I hear in this, especially in this last section, is humility. That's what I'm hearing, is humility. All the day long my enemies reproached me, and then they that praised me did swear against me. So not only the enemies that he knew, but even the people that he thought liked him, nope, they're swearing against him. He says, well, I did eat ashes like bread and mingled my drink with weeping. Not sure there when that happened. Was he doing that in penance and they're mocking him? Maybe he's doing an extreme penance and they're doing it publicly and they're mocking him for this. We don't know. Or did they put some of the ashes in like bread? People talk about eating ashes as a form of penance. I have heard of that before. And mingled my drink with weeping. So was he doing it out of penance? Was he doing it as a big public penance? Was he being over dramatic? We don't know here. Or was he doing that big dramatic penance because everybody was mocking him and he's like, I got to make this right with the Lord. Like, everybody's turned against me. I'm going to go into some hardcore penance here. We don't exactly know what's going on, but whatever motivated him, he appears to be doing a lot of penance. And he's saying, even for having lifted me up, thou hast thrown me down. But then he goes on to say, my days have declined like shadow, and I am withered like grass. I am just like a former bit of what I was. When you had raised me up, you had raised me so high. I am so low now that you have cast me down. I'm like grass that dies every day. I'm withered like grass in the heat of the sun. Before you lifted me up and I was so great, and now I'm nothing. I'm nothing without you, Lord. Because he already says, but thou, O Lord, endurest forever, and thy memorial to all generations. So I'm like nothing without you. And of course, you are the most amazing thing ever. And you endurest forever. Why? Because you're eternal. Because you're all powerful, all knowing, all loving. You are all that. Like, I'm nothing, Lord. I'm nothing. When you raised me up, I was amazing. You cast me off. I'm nothing. And I'm so nothing. I am eat my ashes like bread, mingle my drink with weeping. Wait, didn't in the last one he said he forgot to eat his bread? And here he's saying eating ashes like bread. That's what he's doing. He's doing like an extreme penance here. He's not even considering food. And I don't know, the one Bible commentary we read talked about how he lost his appetite. I don't know that he lost his appetite. It sounds here like this is some form of penance, that he forgot to eat his bread. He was so busy eating humble pie, basically, that he has forgotten to eat his bread. He's eating so much humble pie. He's so full of humility, and it seems to me that he's in that mode of penance. And it does say he's afflicted, and he's a poor man, and he's anxious and pouring out his supplication before the Lord. And we've heard so many times in the Bible, how do you get through this? Prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. And here we're hearing about this fasting, right? He's not even drinking water. He's drinking his tears in his drink, and he's only eating ashes. That's some extreme penance. And just as a weird side note, if you're someone who watches survival shows at all, this is a really weird fact, but they use the ashes to make their teeth whiter. Weird penitential thing that the ashes, that penance, it's like one of those things that has a natural reality and then a layer of supernatural reality. So using those ashes, like you're eating them, actually make your teeth white. It kills, I don't know, does it kill bacteria? Cleans off stains. So what does penance do for you spiritually? The ashes do something for you naturally. And we all know there's a lot of people who have different stomach ills, and they'll take like charcoal pills, and that will neutralize the acid that is eating them from the inside out. So that ashes as penance and as a cleansing thing seems to have some supernatural connection there as well. It's some sort of penance. What is it? And ashes are a fire grown cold as well. So there might be some sort of symbolism in that. I think in our last one, were we talking about fire even in this one? We talk about being vanished like smoke. Yes, and as fuel for the fire. My bones are grown dry like fuel for the fire. We talked about liturgical fire. And interesting that now we're talking about ashes. It's very interesting as the product of that liturgical fire, perhaps. He does talk about grass a lot in this one too. Let's just read that again and then close with prayer. We've been doing a spiritual communion prayer. Aha! It found one of the books. So let's go ahead and read this one more time and then do a prayer of spiritual communion together. I'm grabbing the one out of this book, 33 Days to Eucharistic Glory. All the day long my enemies reproached me, and they that praised me did swear against me. For I did eat ashes like bread, and mingled my drink with weeping. Because of thy anger and indignation, for having lifted me up, thou hast thrown me down. My days have declined like shadow, and I am withered like grass. But thou, O Lord, endurest forever, and thy memorial to all generations. Amen. Jesus, I believe that you are truly present in the most holy sacrament of the Eucharist. Every day I long for more of you. I love you above all things, and I desire to receive you into my soul. Since I cannot receive you sacramentally at this moment, I invite you to come and dwell in my heart. May this spiritual communion increase my desire for the Eucharist. You are the healer of my soul. Take the blindness from my eyes, the deafness from my ears, the darkness from my mind, and the hardness from my heart. Fill me with the grace, wisdom, and courage to do your will in all things. My Lord and my God, draw me close to you, nearer than ever before. Amen.